Hello, my name is William, and I am providing a short video clip in response to the question that was given to me by the Capstone. Define what enemies will be used, a link to a map of the level, and your current plans on where you plan to place enemies would be great. So, on the actual build and on my level that I am creating, it is the swamp slash loading bay, which also acts as the in game location for our project. I do plan on adding a few environmental enemies here. The environmental enemies are fire, green for health, blue for ice, and yellow for shock, which they are glowing, the colors corresponding what type of damage they inflict on the player. Obviously, the healing one is a green one and it does not damage the player, but it actually heals the player. So I will add some of the enemies here to kind of remind players that these are different environmental enemies. Greens are pretty much the only good ones, and all the other enemies should be taken care of at a distance. Once the player solves the puzzle here, they'll go into this area here, which is the market. I've already added a few environmental enemies here. There are two healing ones, a fire one, and I'll probably add another fire one here. Additionally, on the first floor of this building, I will add I will probably remove these gray enemies, which are just fast melee enemies, and add a few environmental enemies here. I'm going to focus more on adding more of the environmental enemies to my level instead of just having the melee enemies. Inside this building, there is a blue semi-boss or maybe a mid-boss enemy here. I'm going to add some additional healing robots up here because this guy is extra strong and he takes a lot of damage. On the first floor, there's more of these gray enemies here, which I will leave them alone. But the goal is actually for the player to hit the switch that's upstairs here. And once you hit that switch, this gate will open and that will let you into this area here. Past here, there is a gray boss enemy here, which is very tanky. I may add some enemies here, but I think the boss will be enough to handle players' entrance. So this is the loading bay slash in-game area. Through here, there are environmental hazards, which are the shocking items. There's gates inside that area that you need to go on both sides of the room to clear. So there's a red key on that side, and there is a blue key over in this area. Once you open up both gates, you go through this area here, which I will update because I'm pretty much merged a lot of the stuff from my previous level into this level and condensed it for the time's sake because the player is supposed to only spend 3 to 5 minutes on the level. So this information won't be here. This will be sealed up. These rooms here will not be used, but I will keep the trigger that I have here on the floor, which opens this skylight area here, which allows light to come in. There will be a boss character here, possibly, and more environmental enemies. And then this back area will host the spaceship. And once you get to the spaceship, it will trigger a cutscene, and that's where the game will end. Hopefully, that explains where I plan on using the enemies. If you have any questions, let me know.